Started here. If we all can stand now that Clay sat down, that's good. Okay, stand for the Pledge of Allegiance of the flag and the prayer, please.
Heavenly Father, as always, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this time. We thank you for the hedge of protection over Talbot County that you give us. Father, we're in some trying times. You know it. You see it. We see evil. We're confronted with evil time in and time out these days. Father, protect us here in Talbot County, here in the state of Maryland, throughout our country. We thank you for everything and all that you do. In Jesus' most precious and holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, appreciate everybody being here tonight. We got a lot of stuff here on the agenda, so we'll go ahead and get started. We've had the agenda before us. Is there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda, council? Okay, hearing none, the chair moves that the agenda be accepted as unanimous consent. Next is the minutes of June 11th and June 21st. We've had a chance to take a look at them. Is there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the minutes, council? Okay. Okay, hearing none, the chair moves that the minutes be accepted as unanimous consent. Okay. Next is the disbursements on the agenda here of July 16th and July 23rd. Council's had a chance to take a look at those. Is there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the disbursements, council? Okay. I'm hearing none. The chair moves that the disbursements be accepted as unanimous consent. Okay, now we got something exciting here to do. So first on the agenda is a recognition of a cadet, John M. Schwaninger, the fourth. You want to come on up? Want to welcome you guys. Madam Secretary, could you go ahead and read that recognition into the record, please?
Certificate of Recognition. This certificate is awarded to John M. Schwaninger IV in recognition of having received the Civil Air Patrol Amelia Earhart Award for sustained excellence in all 4 areas of cadet life: leadership, aerospace, fitness, and character, and having passed comprehensive examinations on the topics of leadership and aerospace, a rank attained only by 3% of Civil Air Patrol cadets who reach this level of responsibility and leadership, and your promotion to cadet captain. County Council of Talbot County, July 23rd, 2024.
Well, that's pretty impressive, that's for sure. So congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. So I'm going to leave the floor to you if you guys want to introduce yourself and do a little talk.
I'm Marvin Nielsen. I'm the Deputy Commander for Cadets of the Easton Composite Squadron. The commander can't be here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
My purpose is to blow John's horn a little bit because he won't.
I'm glad he smiled then.
John first came
Relax.
to my attention when he was 10 years old and told my wife in a missions class at church that he wanted to be a pilot.
Mm.
His father came and cut down a booster seat so John could fly in my plane
Wow.
and see over the dashboard. Then John, in 2021, as we were coming out of COVID, joined the Civil Air Patrol, and in 3 years has completed 13 achievements and has reached the rank of cadet captain. As said, he's currently the commander of cadet, or cadet commander of our squadron. We have 55 cadets now.
Wow.
It's up to you, John. Take it away.
It's your turn.
He doesn't want to talk about himself.
No problem.
He's accepted at West Virginia University in engineering.
Okay.
And has achieved his private pilot's license this past year. He was the distinguished graduate of the Intermediate Air Crew School for the National Emergency Services Academy, and that includes both adult and cadet members.
That's great. That's good. So, council, Mr. Stepp?
And he's one heck of a hockey goalie, too. I'll add that part. So, Johnny, congratulations. It's been great to get to know you guys over the year, your family. It's been cool to see you just grow within CAP and just you know, all the success you've had. I want to wish you nothing but the best as you go to WVU.
Mr. Lesher?
Congratulations on this achievement. I am delighted to see the dedication, the leadership that you are showing through this program, and it encourages me for the direction of the next generation to see this sort of thing happening. So congratulations for showing the way for your fellow cadets.
And congratulations on your interest, your diligence, and your accomplishment. It's great. And I second what Mr. Lesher says. Thank you.
And I echo all that my colleagues have said. Congratulations, and we wish you the best at attending West Virginia University. Thank you for coming in tonight.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Johnny. And I didn't realize you're a big time goalie. So that's great. So I was in the hockey world with my sons too. So not only what you're achieving is you're showing leadership, because it's nice for all the young ladies and young men to follow in your footsteps. So that's really big, what you're teaching and learning, and people are really paying attention to that. So we're really very, very proud of you. You're a young man. You've got some focus, and that's what we need around here, that's for sure. So we're very, very proud of you, that's for sure. So come on up, we got a certificate for you.
This is all about John.
That's why you put me on the set.
There you go, that's a picture.
Lens.
Your lens.
Lens.
Cover.
Ready? 1, 2. Very nice.
Okay, next on the agenda, consideration, council consideration of the American Rescue Plan funding recommendations. Okay, hey Mary Kay, how are you?
Good evening.
Good, good.
Hard to follow that.
Yes, exactly, it is
will
hard. Okay, I'll open it to you then. Yep.
Okay. So on behalf of the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA Subcommittee, chaired by Council Vice President Lesher, a list of 20 projects was presented to the council on July 9th. The subcommittee reviewed requests totaling over $5.5 million for the available balance of just under $2.3 million. So subject to council approval this evening, the next steps will include confirmation that projects can be completed and funds fully expended prior to the December 2026 deadline. Once confirmed, we will execute subrecipient agreements with each of the selected nonprofits and the Maryland Broadband Co-op. The county department heads will work with finance to confirm the process for distribution of ARPA funds for the county projects. So tonight we are seeking council support to allocate $2,290,950 in ARPA funds for 3 county, 2 broadband, and 15 nonprofit projects, which I can read into the record again if you would like me to read them again.
Let's go ahead and read them back into the record. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. The first is Talbot County Department of Public Works, sewer extension for Resolution 235 to assist low and moderate income homeowners with sewer connection, $390,000. Talbot County Department of Economic Development and Tourism, small business grant for Talbot Works Business Academy, $60,000. Talbot County Department of Technical Service, cybersecurity and data protection to update a firewall and duplicate servers on site, $305,000. Maryland Broadband Co-op, Cell tower network core equipment at Y Mills, $48,000. Maryland Broadband Co-op deploying 100 gig capable ring for the 8 cell towers in Talbot County, $96,000. There are 15 nonprofits versus the ARC, Port Street Commons, capital project construction costs, $100,000. Bay 100 community volunteers, modular wheelchair ramp program, $50,000. Building African American Minds, BAM, Academic Center, commercial kitchen equipment, food supplies, and overall building costs, $150,000. Channel marker, repairs to 20 North Hanson Street facility and painting of the Glebe Park Drive Day Program, $80,000. Critchlow Atkins Children's Center, Child Care Facility Expansion, Chapel District Elementary School Site, Cordova, $300,000. For All Seasons, facility upgrades, $100,000. Foundation of Hope, construction of Foundation of Hope office and community space for workshops and events, $100,000. Gray Street Safe Station, transport vehicle to and from treatment facilities, $50,000. Habitat for Humanity Chop Tank, new housing for very low to low income families, $50,000. Neighborhood Service Center, procurement and installation of a walk-in freezer, $34,450. St. Michael's Community Center, capital project renovations, $100,000. St. Vincent de Paul, building expansion and renovation project, $100,000. Talbot Family Network, on behalf of the food pantries, financial assistance to 7 local pantries, $112,500. Talbot Interfaith Shelter, emergency shelter costs approved for emergency shelter operating costs only, $50,000. Upper Shore Agent, kitchen equipment and installation at the Brooklet Center, Talbot County Senior Center, $15,000.
Okay, appreciate that. Okay. Any questions?
I'll just remind council that the process that we went through on this of course is the most of the last allocation or tranche of ARPA funding. When we first received this ARPA funding, council put out a survey, a public survey that got actually a very robust response, nearly 700 responses. The priorities identified by the public were used to guide both the earlier allocations and these allocations, and it prioritized infrastructure, especially broadband infrastructure, and particularly from the first tranche, substantial funding went toward filling out pieces of our broadband build out, ensuring that we still can be the first county to have that available to every single address in the county. Public health was the second priority, and you'll see public health priorities in here and in the earlier allocations. Third was assistance to nonprofits. You see that here. And finally, assistance to businesses that were impacted by the pandemic. And you see that in the small business grants for the Talbot Works Business Academy. So all of those priorities that were earlier addressed in here. Of course, as Ms. Verdery said, we have far more, and not all of these that are proposed for funding are receiving the full amount of their requests. There simply wasn't enough money remaining in the pot to be able to handle that. But it does follow these priorities, and where it either fell short on those priorities or if alternative funding was available through some other existing fund, some other existing source, we tended to favor those projects that did not have that alternative to turn to. So that's really how we got to this, how the staff committee got to this set of recommendations.
Okay. All right, at this time, we're ready to go ahead and vote on it. Madam Secretary? Can you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Abstain.
Ms. Hayes?
Recuse myself from the vote.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Very-
And
Appreciate you.
congratulations to all.
Good job. Yep, yep. Okay, next on the agenda is introduction of legislation. Madam Secretary, could you go ahead and read that into the record?
A bill to authorize Talbot County, Maryland, the county to borrow not more than $88,000 in order to finance and refinance improvements to certain wastewater facilities in the county, and to effect such borrowing by the issuance and sale of one or more series of its general obligation bonds payable from ad valorem taxes to be levied by the county, exempting the bonds from the provisions of sections 19-205 and 19-207 of the local government article of the annotated Code of Maryland, authorizing the consolidation of separate series of bonds into one or more bonds, authorizing the refunding of such bonds, and relating generally to the issuance and sale of such bonds for such purposes.
Okay. All righty.
Council, I'm Ray Clark, County Engineer. If you want, I can give you a little information on this if you like.
Sure,
that.
that'd be great.
This is actually the last of our loans under the Rural Development Project that has extended, done rehabilitation and replacement of sewers down in St. Michael's. This was actually done as a change order, our last change order with Schumer Incorporated to go ahead and do road improvements as well as put in a new water line and sewer line down Canton Street. Ultimately, the town had secured the funding, so after we've closed on this loan, the $88,000, which has already been provided to the county from St. Michael's, will then be used to pay off this loan. So that's where we're at.
Okay. Any questions from council? Okay, at this time, it just a raise of hands.
So introduced by council.
Madam Secretary, you want to go ahead and announce the bill number and public hearing date and time?
Yes, this will be known as Bill number 1576, and the public hearing will be on Tuesday, August 13th at 5:30 p.m.
Okay, thank you. All right. All right, you want to go ahead and, on the next bill?
An emergency bill to amend Bill number 1231 for the purpose of coordinating the temporary closure of Maryland Route 662C to facilitate timely construction of a new hospital and regional medical center by Shore Health System, Inc., and minimize impacts to vehicular traffic on Ocean Gateway, US Route 50, during the 2025 summer travel season.
Mr. Thomas, you want to just give us a brief, because we had a work session of this, before this meeting.
Yes, so as discussed during our work session earlier today, this bill proposes to amend Bill number 1231, which the council passed in 2013, to facilitate a reconfiguration of the new hospital's development, which changes the timeframes that were set forth in that bill. This is presented as an emergency bill because of the need for it to take effect immediately upon passage, thus avoiding any delays in construction and related impacts on US Route 50 during the 2025 summer travel season. As we also discussed briefly, there will be an amendment to the road transfer agreement between the state and the county, and a new road inspection and maintenance agreement for the council's consideration forthcoming. The transfer of Route 662 to the county and then the county's subsequent conveyance to Shore Health, which are addressed in this bill, will be contingent upon the execution of both of those documents, as well as the state's approval of the temporary closure of Route 62C during the period from October 1st, 2024 to May 1st, 2025.
Okay. Okay, at this time, a show of raise of hands to introduce.
Introduced by Callahan, Stepp, and Lesher.
This will be known as Bill number 1577, and the public hearing will be on Tuesday, August 27th at 5:30 p.m.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so we're just a hair early, so Mr. Stamp, you want to go through a few of your things, because you've got a long list of things tonight?
Sure, Mr. Council President,
Yep.
members of council, thank you. Under board and committee appointments this evening, I have several. The first is for the Board of Appeals, requesting the appointment of Keith Prettyman to fill the alternate position on the Board of Appeals.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, I got a motion second to go ahead and put Mr. Prettyman on the Board of Appeals. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Next, council requesting the reappointment of Holly Baldwin and Earl Ashe to the Historic Preservation Commission.
Okay, who's got a motion?
So move.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to two reappointments. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Next, we're requesting the reappointment of Mr. Jeff Harrison to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to go ahead and reappoint Jeff Harrison to the Parks Board. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Requesting the reappointment of Mr. William Foster to the Weed Control Committee.
So moved.
And
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to reappoint Mr. Foster to the Weed Control. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Next, council, you want me to keep on rolling?
Please.
Okay. The next item I have, council, is a recommendation. Is Linda Webb here with us tonight?
I don't see her.
Okay, that's
No.
fine. So, council, I have a recommendation to award bid number 2413, Child and Adult Welfare Legal Services contract. As you read in your agenda packet, the Talbot County Department of Social Services is recommending the award of bid number 24-13 to the most qualified bidder, the law offices of Stephen Palmer LLC, in the amount of $99,555. There were 2 bids received. And again, we have that recommendation from Director Linda Webb.
Okay. Is there a motion?
So
Motion
moved.
to approve the recommendation to award bid number 24-13.
Second.
Okay. We've got a motion and a second to award bid number 2413 for social services. Madam Secretary.
And I will note, prior to vote, I will note that these dollars are reimbursed to the county, so. by
Okay,
the
that's
state.
good. Good, thank you. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, I would ask Cliff Coppersmith, the president of Chesapeake College, to come forward. As you read in your packet, Chesapeake College is requesting a letter of intent to fund the Queen Anne's Technical Center project to be submitted to the Maryland Higher Education Commission. The letter notes that the county intends to provide their local share of funds to design, construct, and equip this building. As you know, last year, council made an appropriation and then had to pull that back because the state did not come through with their funding. And again, Cliff is here to, with his team, to give you an update. Mr. Coppersmith. Good evening.
Mr. President, it's good to be with you
Welcome.
again.
Welcome.
This is kind of part 2. We
Okay.
were here last year about this time for the same reason. I have 2 purposes this evening, and we will be brief. First is to update you on the status of the Queen Anne's Tech building, which has undergone a revision. So we have a very brief presentation for you on that. And then related to this is a request for a new letter of intent by the county supporting the project with the 25% match. The reason we're here with this is we were not funded last year. As you all know, there's all kinds of challenges at the state level, and our project was not put on the capital project list. And then since that point, we've been working with MHEC, which is the Maryland Higher Education Commission, Department of Management and Budget, and also the State Facilities Department. That's not what it's called, right?
Department of General Services.
Department of General Services. I can never remember that. So anyways, we have a new proposal which has their strong support. And basically the reason we're here with a revised plan is that in the course of the last year, we determined that our marine technology program, even though it is growing, it does have enrollment, has not reached the formula requirement for funding of that portion of the facility. So we're removing the Marine Tech program from the plan. It will continue to operate in the Manufacturing Trade Center where it currently is located, and that has lowered the amount of square footage for the project and commensurate its cost by about $20 million. So that actually is, I think that improves our chances to be put on the capital project list in the coming year. MHEC is very supportive, as are those other agencies. Karen Smith on my right, who's our Vice President for Administrative Services, has been heavily involved in the financial planning for this thing, and she's going to go over those details in just a moment. And David Harper is here to talk to us a little bit about the program curriculum and the related facilities in terms of instruction that this facility will have and the process by which we got to that part of the plan. So I think we're going to start off with David, and we're going to go to Karen.
Okay.
And then David's going to go through some photographs of examples that provide our vision for what this is actually going to look like when it's constructed. So David, please take it away.
Thank you, Dr. Coppersmith. Thank you, commissioners, for your time. Just to say, or councilman, just to say we want to do it right, and if we have the opportunity, that means for us connecting very closely with local businesses. So we purpose as an organization to be conversing with business leaders to make sure the equipment in the labs is right, to make sure the curriculum leads to local jobs, to make sure that the faculty are creating opportunities that will mean short-term certifications, long-term dignified employment, keeping youth here on the area, and upskilling our incumbent workers. So that is those 3 bullets. The next slide, just to say, we want to inspire not just students to recognize that trades jobs are the new tech jobs and that they are extremely advanced and require high level of skills. But we want this to be the kind of facility, like our health professions facilities, that inspires not just students, but parents and local community members to recognize that there's a lot of investment for gainful employment in our region, and they can work and they can live and they can learn locally. The other thing that this does is add capacity to our trade instruction CTE programming in the high schools. We work closely with our colleagues to make sure ours is complementary programming. So whatever they can't do, we can help supplement. That helps us get to the blueprint goals. It helps us get beyond that. It means they can leave and articulate straight from high school to our programming and take the next level certifications, so they're more employable. And the last thing is that this kind of facility, if we have the opportunity to build it, is designed to be very flexible so that it lasts. It's a long-term investment in local business and industry training. And students don't have to look past to Del Tech or past to Anne Arundel County for that kind of education. Thank you.
As part of the revision, we have come up with a plan that is a phased program. So phase 1 is, well, I guess I better switch my slide. Originally, the program statement was gross square footage of 89,000 square feet. The revised phase 1 project is 63,000 gross square footage. And it consists of different types of spaces. Some of the program spaces are fixed spaces and some of them are flexible spaces, which will provide you a little bit of information about that in a few minutes. So the fixed spaces that have been approved by the state to be in this phase 1 construction are the agriculture program, the welding program, and the electrical programs. And then in the flexible spaces will be a combination of HVAC, advanced manufacturing, construction trades, both carpentry and masonry. We'll have other offices in there. We'll have student resources, lounge, lockers, vending, and our Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. So there is approved square footage for these programs, and then some of the programs like welding, advanced manufacturing, and construction trades, we've given projections to MHEC for growth in those areas. So that is how we come up to the 36,324 net assignable square footage for this phase 1 of the project. The cost for the phase 1 of the project is $56,438,240, and it breaks down into 75% of the cost is paid by the state and 25% is by the local support counties. The phase one includes the design of the building, the site work, the structure, the actual construction of the phase one building, the utilities, equipment, and then demolition at the end of it of the existing Queen Anne's Tech building. It also includes the entrance and exit roads to the new building on Route 662, and then some loading areas and small parking lot and storage areas adjacent to the building. So for Talbot County, the share in '26 would be the design portion of the project, which is $207,658. And fiscal year '27 would be the construction, $2,595,726, and the furniture and equipment would be in fiscal year '28 of $272,500. So a total of $3,075,884. The original request that we had brought with the prior proposal had for Talbot County a total request of $4,310,000. So it is quite a reduction in the cost. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Dr. Harper, and he'll explain to you about the concept of some flexible spaces in the building.
So we want it to be a good investment. We traveled to one of the cutting-edge locations, which is in Pennsylvania, Penn Labs from Penn College. And after an extensive conversation and tour, one of the things we pulled away from that experience, the president sort of leveled with us and said, in the past 10, 15 years of building these kinds of facilities, I've learned that what you want is a big box. So think about something like Lowe's or a grocery store with a thick concrete floor and as much power as you can run to it. And that gives you long-term flexibility. And so the concept you see here, you can advance through a handful of these, is large open rooms with dropped electrical cords. It's the kind of facility that we can move around to meet changing industry needs. Agility in the curriculum and agility in the facility space is what we need to stay relevant, and we need to stay relevant to make sure the certifications match local jobs year in and year out. And the last thing I would mention is that the integration you see here, these are not the kind of classrooms you can fall asleep in. The classroom is the lab, is the classroom, and many members of my family, my wife, my father, my brother, would fall asleep in the English classes I used to teach, but these kinds of classes are highly engaging and integrated with the kinds of equipment and machinery that students will see when they go into the workplace.
So, Mr. President, it's our
Yes.
presentation. I do want to point out that Rosa DeFari, our chair of our board, is with us this afternoon in a supportive role, and we're
Welcome.
happy he's here
Glad
with us
you're
today.
here. Glad you're here.
So at this time, that's our presentation. We'd be more than happy to take any questions members of the council might have.
Okay, council? Yep, go ahead, Mr. Lesser.
So with the reduced scope of this phase one, you anticipate that there will be a phase two to complete the earlier vision of this building?
That's correct, and we don't anticipate when that would be. Obviously, with the marine trades being the focus of that next module or that next phase, it would be subject to enrollment and, of course, the financial support of the counties that support the college. But I don't know when that's going to be. I don't think we can really project that out at this point.
Does that postpone the date when you're able to offer that piece of curriculum?
No, that curriculum's actually in place now, and we're currently offering in the the Manufacturing Trade Center, which is the repurposed former hangars from the Easton Airport. I don't know when that was actually done, but that's where we presently have marine trades and the welding program. So the move of the welding program, which is covered by the new facility, allows the marine program to expand in its current location.
Okay. Well, that
Along with our new boat that you guys helped us buy that's been recently rechristened Higher Ebb. We'll send you photographs of that.
Good. Terrific.
Mr. Stapp?
No, I mean, I love the plan. Optimistic that we can get this through this year. Coming out and just getting a chance to see a lot of this firsthand at your open house a couple months ago now. At this point, I guess,
Yeah.
was really eye opening, and just you clearly see the need for it in our community. So
Thank you, Mr. Stapp.
let's get it done.
100% supportive of tech ed.
She said 100%. We got Lynn with the 100% or something.
We got her at 100. I knew I would do it.
Certainly, I'm biased, as you know, as a graduate of Chesapeake College, but I think this is great. Any way we can connect what we're doing at the colleges with the business community and making sure that the certifications are connected there, because I know that's been a disconnect in the past. Always supportive and great to see this taking place. Certainly, there's been a need. I mean, probably ever since I was at Chesapeake and then beyond the years, we've been talking about this in my Queen Anne's County days. So glad to see that it's moving forward, and we'll hopefully see phase 1 soon, and certainly have my support on this. So kudos to you guys for updating this and bringing the cost down as well. So thank you for coming in tonight.
Thank you.
And I'll wrap it up by saying, you know, this is my deal here. This is why I'm sitting here, okay? Because I've been looking for this for 10 years. I am a little biased too. The square footage on the carpentry is not enough. We need at least 5,000 square feet if you could. So, but anyway, I'm so happy that this is coming, and we definitely need it for all these counties, and it couldn't be better timing. For all these trades, that's for sure, because we definitely lack of trades, and I just really support this whole thing, and I'm so happy for you guys and happy for the communities to have this support, because it's going to make a difference in 10 years. Probably it's going to make a difference in 5 once it's up and going. That's for sure. So we definitely need it.
I've worked at a number of institutions very much like Chesapeake, all over the country, really.
Yeah.
And it's generations like ours that make these tough decisions and do these great things that pay off for decades in the future.
I agree.
And we're part of a national trend. Young people are interested in the trades. They see the value of the proposition. And we're really part of a national movement to reinvigorate the interest and production of people in these vitally needed professions.
Yes, sir. And I want to recognize Reza. You're a big part of this. Reza's in the back here. Come on up here for a second. Yeah, I'll give you 2 seconds, okay? I'll give you 2 seconds, you know.
I appreciate, Mr. President.
Yes.
The council.
Yes.
You've been always in support of the Chesapeake College. You've been always in support of the community, and everything that we can do to make sure that each and every member of our community has been benefiting not only from Chesapeake College, but from the collaboration and cooperation that Chesapeake brings with 4 other counties.
Exactly.
Yeah. My gratitude.
Yeah. We appreciate you guys too. Thank you. Okay, Madam Secretary, I guess we need a letter of support.
I'll move that we issue that letter, the requested letter of support, letter of intent.
Second. Okay. Okay, there's a motion second for a letter of intent. Can you call the vote, please?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Great job.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, yeah, just go around here. Thank you. Want me to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. The next item I have, I would ask Gary Laseco, Tim Ford from the Maryland Environmental Service, Patrick will be able to speak to this, Ray Clark will be able to speak to this next item. Request from the Department of Public Works to approve an amended and restated memorandum of understanding by and between Midshore Regional Counties and the Maryland Environmental Service for solid waste removal. As you read in your agenda packet, the county has come to an agreement with the Maryland Environmental Service and the counties of Caroline, Kent, and Queen Anne's to extend the solid waste disposal services at Midshore 2, located in Caroline County, until June 30th of 2042. And again, we have Ray and Tim Ford here to answer any questions and add detail to this request.
Well, welcome, guys. I know we've worked many months, and you've done a great job putting all this together, sweating a little bit, you know. But you did a phenomenal job, so I think everybody's in agreement finally with all this. So,
So, again, this is an amended and restated agreement. So the original agreement in 2005, or that was the amended and restated agreement in 2005 of an earlier agreement. But long story short, this is replacing that agreement. In the interim, that agreement remains in force. In addition to extending Midshore 2, this agreement will also extend the total term of the agreement from 80 years to 92 years. So there's a benefit to the county there as well. So it extends the back end of this thing out. This agreement also restates the deadlines that are required for the remaining 2 counties that owe us a facility in the long term. Those dates had to all be adjusted in this agreement to reflect additional time.
Okay.
And that's stated in the agreement. I won't obviously read the entire thing to you. We have shared it with staff. It has been reviewed by council. And we're here today to get your approval. We've had 2 counties already sign. That would be Queen Anne's County and Kent County. Caroline County has already voted and agreed, but they will sign last, as per their wishes. And the agreement goes before our board of directors this week, this Thursday.
Okay. Any other questions, council?
Good here.
Okay.
Ray has
Ray.
anything to add?
Just, I mean, again, from our standpoint, it's a 3 to 5, $3 per ton, I believe, until 2032, I think it is, or 31. And then ultimately it goes to $5 after that.
Okay.
So that is paid for. Currently, we follow Gatsby, I can't speak, Gatsby, when it comes to our accounting practices. That required that we accrue our closure and post-closure costs over the lifespan of the airspace of the landfill, which meant we would have been under accrued had we not made an additional accrual for the original 2030 closure. That accrual was $3, so we're paying $3. It's just basically reclassifying that expense to a host fee, so there was no impact currently on our finances until 2030. And then following 2030, the $5 fee is paid for by restated debt. Obviously, we front-loaded all of our debt for the existing construction work up through 2030. That'll be paid off. And so the only new debt will be the extension that we have to build, actually the new cells that we have to build to fill out the remaining airspace.
Okay.
So we thought it out.
Okay, great. Okay, so,
I was going to say, I'll make a motion to approve the amended and restated memorandum.
Second.
okay, we got a motion and a second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, guys. Good
Thank you.
job.
Now,
Good
will you
job.
be here in 92 years for the update of this?
Just my head floating in a ball. Hooked up the wires. No, I won't be. You should make me a bit confident.
There you go.
I'm hoping to make it to the 2030 date.
There you go. Thank you. And we'll keep Ray, we'll keep Ray Clark up here, council. The next item we have a request from the Department of Public Works to purchase equipment for the Region 2 wastewater system utilizing remaining USDA Rural Development Contingency Funds from the St. Michael's Sewer Rehabilitation Project. As you read in your packet, Department of Public Works requesting council approval to utilize these funds, contingency funds, in the amount of $221,012.55 to purchase equipment for the Region 2 wastewater system. Do you want me to go ahead?
You can keep going, or I can get John.
All right, well, there are 7 items that they're interested in purchasing. The first is a push camera for $12,263 from Atlantic Machinery, Silver Spring, Maryland. They're using a blanket purchase order under a state contract for that. The next is SCADA communications system equipment, $18,624 from Linwood Electrical Automation Utilities, Federalsburg, Maryland. This is a sole source to match the existing SCADA technology. The next is a high tide manhole pump station, $23,778 from Freemeyer and Associates, Severn, Maryland. This is a sole source to match existing SCADA technology equipment. The next is portable diesel bypass pump, $74,999 from Freemeyer Associates. This is a low bid. Bids were obtained. The next is a crane winch, $29,550 from H.A. Hart and Son, Thoroughfare, New Jersey. This is a low bid. Quotes were received. And the next is a pickup truck, $48,145 from Apple Ford, Columbia, Maryland. This is piggybacking on a Baltimore County contract. And finally, a utility equipment gator for $13,653.55 from Atlantic Tractor LLC, and this is using a state of Maryland contract. Ray's here, and he will add any more detail he would like, but he's requesting your permission to move forward to use the grant fund or the contingency funds for those purposes. Ray?
Yeah, and I just note that this is the grant funding that we have left over with this rural development project. So this is not going to be any sanitary district funds. This will actually be grant funding.
Okay.
And kudos to Ray and his team for watching that contingency really closely. And this is a multi-year project that St. Michael's benefited by as a partnership, and you do deserve a lot of credit for overseeing this project.
It's been fun. We started this in 2017.
Okay, all right, thank you, Ray.
Make a motion to make the purchase.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to make those purchases. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lusher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay.
Good job, Ray. Thank you. And then I'll ask Brian Lacates to come forward, please. We have a request from the Department of Emergency Services to purchase 2 new Horton ambulances utilizing FY25 capital funding. This is, again, to purchase 2 new Horton ambulances from Fesco Emergency Sales in the amount of $769,334. This price reflects the Houston Galveston area contract pricing. This is a cooperative purchasing contract that we've used in the past for purchase of these ambulances. There are sufficient funds in the FY25 budget for this. Brian is here to share any other information or answer any questions. Brian.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Stamp.
Yep.
I think you summed it up.
Yep, he summed it up. Yeah, any questions?
No questions. I motion to approve the 2 ambulances.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion second to go ahead and purchase 2 ambulances. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lusher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
We'll
Okay.
keep Brian here
just-
for a few minutes. He has a number of requests.
Mr. Cates,
Stacked them all there.
So the
Just
next
curi-
item.
I'm sorry, just curious, with that authorization, what kind of schedule do you expect to be able to get those vehicles?
So they are currently still about 700-day build time, so they're still quite a ways out.
More than a year?
Yeah, oh, yes, unfortunately, yeah.
About 2 years, okay.
Yeah, we'll be working with Martha to discuss with council the potential of encumbering the dollars rather than having to transfer to FY26, but we'll have that conversation with you. Hopefully something will happen and they'll come in sooner.
We are doing everything we can to possibly expedite that, even looking at purchasing our chassis ourselves. So we are doing everything we can, but it looks like it's probably going to be 700-day build time, unfortunately.
The next item that Brian has for you is he's requesting permission to purchase 44 Physio Control CR2 automated external defibrillators using FY25 capital funding, and I'll yield to you to add the rest.
Thank you, sir. So this is a request that came through during the FY25 budgeting process. These are the AEDs that would replace all of the AEDs in Talbot County government and both buildings and vehicles, other than the Sheriff's Department. They've already been replaced. So back in 2000, the County Council and the Talbot Paramedic Foundation, they were partnered to create one of the very few and very first AED, community AED programs for public access defibrillation. Those AEDs are still in place from the year 2000 because Talbot County was really cutting edge in that. We bought all these AEDs. They're no longer serviceable by the manufacturer, so it's just they've seen their life cycle at 24 years, so it's time to replace them, and that's what this procurement is for.
And it's in the amount of $83,736. And again, there are sufficient funds in the budget for that. And I believe you are piggybacking on a contract for this? No, competitive bids were received, and these are low bid.
Correct. And the low bid is actually lower than the Maryland State contract pricing, so we did everything we could to drive the price down. So.
And Mr. Lacates, although this isn't in the county's budget to do, I presume that the life of all those others that were placed around the community, not in county facilities, are folks should be thinking about how they're going to go about funding the replacement of those units.
Yes, great point, Mr. Lesher. So we have actually been advertising that with our current public access AED sites. There is a grant program between the Talbot Paramedic Foundation, Talbot County government, and the PAD site. Each site pays, or every entity pays 1/3 of the cost
It drives that price down for, you know, the stores, the gyms, all these other places that have these AEDs currently out there. So gyms come to mind because we've had several saves because of these AEDs at the YMCA here in Easton. So two that are very notable. One was just a few months ago because they were in place. A gentleman suffered a sudden cardiac arrest on the pickleball court. An AED was brought to him very quickly. By the time EMS arrived, we had a viable patient that we could actually help, and he is out walking the streets today and thriving. So,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Make a motion to purchase the 44?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Next, Director LaCates is asking for council's approval to procure 700 megahertz public safety radios for the sheriff's office and the volunteer fire department vehicles. They are purchasing them because they manage them much like our IT department manages computers. They make the purchase, but it's going out to the departments. I'll hand it over to Brian to share the rest.
Thank you, sir. So then, again, this was part of the FY25 budgeting process. These are just 7 new radios. So our fire service has been able to acquire some new vehicles, and along with our sheriff's office, I think there was a small expansion in the sheriff's office this past fiscal year. This just allows them to have the radios in there, so, in their vehicles, sorry.
And this is for 7 public safety radios for $52,153.43, and they are being purchased through a Maryland State contract.
Okay.
Motion to approve the radios.
Second.
Okay. Motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
And we're continuing with Brian. He is now requesting the use of FY23 Homeland Security Program grant funding and previously approved capital projects funding to purchase a door access control system for the new county sheriff's office, which is the public safety complex at Mary's Court. And Brian can add any additional information.
Sure, thank you, sir. Yeah, so this is twofold. Part of it's going to be grant funded, part of it's going to be general funds from the county government. This is just, as Clay said, just door access for the proximity cards so that we can put them on all the doors there, and we can dynamically change who has access to what. We don't have to go through the process of rekeying and things of that nature.
Total cost for this project is $96,515, piggybacking on a Howard County contract. $25,000 of this purchase would be using state Homeland Security Program grant funds. $71,515 would be budgeted funds in FY25.
Motion to approve the request.
Mm-hmm.
Second.
Okay. We got a motion second it. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
And finally, Brian is requesting use of state Homeland Security Program grant funding and approved capital projects funds to purchase security cameras for the new Talbot County Sheriff's Office. And I'll let Brian.
Thank you, sir. So this is a very similar project to the previous one of door access. This is just for the security CCTV cameras on the just for the first floor of the sheriff's office. The second floor would be covered by grant funds through the Maryland Numbers Board because they're putting our 911 center there. So this is just to take care of the first floor.
The total cost of this project is $80,163. It's piggybacking on a Howard County contract. The project will be funded through grant funds in the amount of $32,069.02, and then $48,093.98 of budgeted FY25 funds.
Motion to approve the security cameras.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Now you don't need to see Brian for the next year.
6 months.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Spend it
I
all in
appreciate,
one place.
as always, we appreciate your support and,
Yeah, thank you,
guys
Brian.
taking care of us. Thank you.
Okay, good job.
Thank you, sir.
And then finally, Council, if I could have Brian Moore come up.
Mm-hmm.
We have a request from the Roads Department to utilize FY25 approved capital outlay funding to purchase 4 mowers. And I'm going to let him describe what those are, and I'll pick up what you might leave off. Good evening, Brian. I know you like to be here talking.
Evening. Thank you, Council.
Yes, this is, honestly, this is, was pre-approved because we had to order these quite some time ago. And it was just such a long lead time. They've been over a year coming in. So they pushed it over to the 25 budget. But they are we purchased the 4 tractors. We have the tractors. These are the mower attachments to it. We had to order them separately to get in the queue to get them.
Yeah.
So now it's just, basically we have the mowers. It's a matter of getting them attached to them and get them going.
Okay.
And there was originally $194,152.72 set aside in the FY24 budget, but because of supply chain delays, it did not come in. We moved that money to FY25, so it is in place, and he would be utilizing a Sourcewell contract pricing. Again, that's a cooperative contract that we use.
Okay.
So moved to purchase 4 mowers.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to purchase the mowers. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
All
Good
right.
job, Brian.
Thank you for your
Okay,
support.
good job. Thank you, Brian.
You want to ask for anything else while you're here? Finally, council, under announcements, just want to announce that the burn ban that you had put in place, it did expire on July 21st. It was effective. Unfortunately, we've had enough rain now that the burn ban committee did not ask the council to consider renewing it. So I just wanted to make that announcement. That concludes your county manager report for this evening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good job tonight on that. You used up all your gold stars too, okay? All right, so now we've got the public hearing, okay? Madam Secretary, would you go ahead and read off the first bill, please?
Bill number 1575, a bill to authorize the replacement and improvement of the cart bridge at the 9th hole of the Talbot County Hogneck Golf Course.
Okay, so at this time, I'll go ahead and open it to the public hearing, and for individuals, be 3 minutes, and if you're representing an organization, I'll give you 5 minutes. And we'll go ahead and get started on Bill 1575. If anybody would like to come up and discuss 1575. Okay?
Must be no golfers here.
No, it must not be. Yep. Okay, so I guess at this time, do we want to go ahead and bring that to a third reader?
People that oppose it really speak.
I will move that we move Bill 1575 to a third reader.
Second that.
Mm-hmm.
Call the roll.
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
And then ask her to read
Yeah,
that title.
you could go ahead and read the title, please.
Bill number 1575, a bill to authorize the replacement and improvement of the cart bridge at the 9th hole of the Talbot County Hogneck Golf Course.
Okay.
This is now eligible for a vote. You can
Yep, so,
call the roll.
okay, Madam Secretary, could you call the roll?
Mr.
A vote?
Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okey-doke. That's good. Okay. Okay, next is Bill 1554.
You want me to read them all, or how do you want to do it?
Do this one at a
we
time.
were thinking, yep, we might as well just read each one of them, yep.
Bill number 1554, a bill to amend Bill number 1427 for the purpose of amending the appropriation for the construction of new recycling stations in Talbot County.
Okay, so this is up for vote?
Yes.
Okay.
If you find there's no discussion on it, I think you
Yep.
can call the roll.
Yeah, okay. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, next is Bill 1555.
Bill number 1555, a bill to amend Bill numbers 1532 and 1516 for the purpose of amending the appropriation for improvements to and expansion of the St. Michael's branch of the Talbot County Free Library.
Okay. Anybody like to come up and say anything about that?
Or We're past public
Discussion.
hearing. We've
I
heard-
see
we've-
thumbs up. I see thumbs up.
Discussion.
Discussion, I'm sorry. Discussion. Okay,
This has been long anticipated.
Yep.
This is the big dollop. This will make this move forward, and
Yep.
it just encouraged to see us getting to
Yeah.
this point.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, next 1556.
Bill number 1556, a bill to amend bill number 1533 for the purpose of amending the appropriation for improvements to the Talbot County Detention Center.
And
Okay,
these are
that's-
important funds to help
Yep.
Replace critical infrastructure in a very aging building.
Exactly.
So,
Yep, yep, I think it's gonna
appreciate
help a
council's
lot.
support on this.
Yep, any discussion?
No, this is good.
I think a number of us have had an opportunity to tour
Yep.
the facility and see how desperately needed this is.
Yep. Okay, Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, next is 1557.
Bill number 1557, a bill to amend bill numbers 1534, 1486, and 1424 for the purpose of amending the appropriation to purchase improved or unimproved real property for future county purposes.
Any discussion, council? Good? Okay. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, next is 1559.
No, 1558.
58.
Oh, 58. Oh, that's a discussion. Yes, sorry.
Get us
Sorry.
down that
Yeah,
agenda,
I was
Chuck.
Bill
trying.
number 1558, a bill to amend bill number 1391 for the purpose of amending the appropriation for the replacement of the county courthouse complex HVAC system.
Any discussion?
Well, we heard earlier from Mr. Moore about how important it is to get this piece done. It's a big piece to bite off, but we do need to take care of this facility, and this is an important capital need.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Madam Secretary, could you call the
Must be
vote?
hot in here.
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, now we're at 1559.
Bill number 1559, a bill to amend bill numbers 1536 and 1187 for the purpose of amending the appropriation for extension of water and sewer lines to the Talbot County Community Center and the proposed University of Maryland Shore Regional Medical Center hospital site located between Longwoods Road, Maryland Route 662, and US Route 50 in Easton, Maryland.
Okay, any discussion?
This is an obligation we've had for a long time. This is fulfilling a prior commitment.
Yep. Okay, Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, 1560.
Bill number 1560, a bill to amend bill numbers 1537, 1509, and 1484 for the purpose of amending the appropriation for a capital project for the construction of emergency medical services stations.
Any discussion?
This is an exciting project, council. We have an RFP out for construction of a building, and I think we expect that back in April, or I'm sorry, in August. Yeah, yeah, so the RFP is out, and we're looking to build an EMS station across from the Chapel School, which will allow for a quicker response to emergencies for our paramedics.
Exactly. Okay, Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, 1561.
Bill number 1561, a bill to amend bill number 1511 for the purpose of amending the appropriation for the acquisition, construction of a Talbot County Health Department facility.
We're happy to report this will allow us to wrap that project up, and the health department will be able to move in, and have moved into their new facility. But this allows us to close that out.
Okay. Any questions? Nope. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, 1562.
Bill number 1562, a bill to amend bill numbers 1504 and 1478 for the purpose of amending the appropriation for the expansion of broadband to unserved and underserved areas of Talbot County.
Okay, any discussion?
Just say
Good.
yay.
Well,
Yeah,
Yay.
exactly, yay.
Yeah, well,
Long overdue.
Okay.
the good news is that, that this puts finishing touches on a project that we're already seeing underway. They're building the trunk lines out in the Bay 100 area right now. Many of our constituents have already been connected in, particularly in the northeast part of the county, and that's happening virtually every day, every week. Rapid progress on this.
Yeah.
Good to bring this to a conclusion.
Okay, Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, 1563.
Bill number 1563, a bill to amend bill numbers 1542 and 1505 for the purpose of amending the appropriation for replacement and improvement of 911 Division Technologies and the 911 Division Computer-Aided Dispatch CAD system.
Okay. Any
This is an
discussion?
exciting project, council. This will allow us to build out the new 911 center at Mary's Court, but it will also replace the computer-aided dispatch system, which is the key piece of equipment that 911 operators use to input callers' requests for help, and it gives them the right resources to send in the right amount of time. So it's a pretty critical piece of equipment.
Yep, okay. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, 1564.
Bill number 1564, a bill to amend bill numbers 1514, 1489, and 1398 for the purpose of amending the appropriation for the construction of a Talbot County Public Safety Center.
And this bill will help us complete the project of the Mary's Court building, which will house the Sheriff's Office, the Department of Emergency Services, and the primary 911 center for Talbot County.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, 1565.
Bill number 1565, a bill to amend bill number 1503 for the purpose of amending the appropriation for improvements to county bridges.
This is Ray Clark's work,
Is that-
and it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
This is
Okay.
making repairs to our county
Yep.
bridges.
Any questions, any discussion?
No.
Okay, Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, and Bill 1566.
Bill number 1566, a bill to amend bill numbers 1477, 1448, and 1366 for the purpose of amending the appropriation for improvements to Black Dog Alley.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to 1567.
Bill number 1567, a bill to amend bill numbers 1541 and 1506 for the purpose of amending the appropriation for improvements to county roads.
I will say,
Yep.
council, on this one, appreciate the council's commitment to upgrading and resurfacing our county roads. Brian Moore and his team has done a great job, both doing the work themselves as well as contracting outside support. But as you know, a number of years ago, the highway user fees were removed from counties, from the state. And this is just something that we have to tackle, and this council has recognized that, and we're marching forward to pave as many roads as possible. So this will allow us to
Yep.
advance that effort.
Any other discussion? Okay, Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, next is 1568.
Bill number 1568, a bill to amend bill numbers 1510, 1501, 1474, 1457, 1422, 1335, and 1317 for the purpose of amending the appropriation for stormwater management and improvements for Goldsboro Neck Road and Airport Road.
Any discussion? Okay, Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, 1569.
Bill number 1569, a bill to authorize the construction of and improvements to the concession stand at the Talbot County Community Sports Complex.
Okay, any discussion?
If I may take a moment
I
on this
knew
one.
you were going to
You knew it
say
was coming.
something. I knew it was coming.
So I'll be brief on it, but this one is certainly an important one. I mean, we go back over the years. New ice, new gym, pickleball courts, Bermuda grass, irrigation, all the things we've done at the community center. If I can give this an analogy, right, this would be like building a beautiful, tall ice cream sundae, chocolate ice cream, hot fudge, walnuts, everything on top, and then topping it with a dill pickle. This removes the dill pickle and
Yes.
puts the cherry on top of it.
I got you.
Yes.
I love that.
I echo what
Yeah.
Councilman Stepp has said, so this is a long time coming for
Yeah,
those that
It
have
is. Yeah,
attended sports
So
games
making a
out
lot
there.
of youth
Yep.
and youth parents and youth
Yep.
organizations happy.
Yep,
Yes,
they definitely
absolutely.
deserve it.
Let him eat ice cream.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, good job with that, too.
Thanks.
Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Very big eye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, Bill 1570.
Bill number 1570, a bill to authorize the construction and improvement of the stone revetment and bulkhead at Sinclair Avenue Waterfront Park in Tillman, Maryland.
Okay, any discussion? Okay. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, 1571.
Bill number 1571, a bill to authorize the replacement of the dehumidifier at the Talbot County Community Center.
Okay, any discussion on that? Okay. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay. 1572.
Bill number 1572, a bill to authorize the replacement of the generator at the Talbot County Community Center.
Any discussion on the generator? Okay. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, Bill 1573.
Bill number 1573, a bill to authorize improvements to the vacuum collection system serving the Region 2 Martingham Sewer Service Area.
Okay, any discussion on that? Okay. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, and last one here, 1574.
Bill number 1574, a bill to amend Bill number 1538 for the purpose of amending the appropriation for improvements to and expansion of the Chapel District Elementary School.
Okay. Should we make
Kevin, come up.
Kevin come up? Yeah.
Nah, we let him
Look at
slide.
him.
Wait,
He
this
knew I was
slide.
going to
Come
say
on.
it.
Let
He
him
knew it.
slide.
He knew it. No, he's been doing a great job, and we really appreciate all the work you've done for the last year to get this going. I know we've had some bumps and bruises, but you've done a really good job, and we're looking forward to seeing the new school and the community and the new ambulance across from you. So there's a lot going on in the next couple of years there, that's for sure. So, any other discussion?
Nope.
Okay, Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Step?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, all right. Good job, Madam Secretary. Good.
Oh, what I was
Thank you.
going to say
Yep.
was, I wrote some things down here I just wanted to share with you. I said exciting, ambitious, you've given us our marching orders, but this truly is a significant investment in our community. It creates jobs, it's investing in both infrastructure, public safety, buildings, and you clearly have given us our marching orders. Staff is happy to attack it. It's in our strategic plan, and we appreciate your support.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, any other discussions? Okay. Okay, now we've got sign-up sheet, public comment.
We've got Ray.
Oh, we got Ray. Okay, we got Ray. Okay.
How you doing? Council, I'm giving you an update on the sewer extension associated with Resolution 250. Just let you all know that Back, I guess, in 2018, MDE approved Resolution 250. We had the design completed. At this point in time, we went out to bid earlier this year, and we ended up, we had 2 contractors awarding, bidding on 3 different phases. Ultimately, we had Phase 1A, which is the sewer extension going down to, from Scotts Lane down to Bosman and Nevitt. That was awarded to Schumer Incorporated for $5,813,450. And then phases 1B and 1C, those projects, 1A or 1B was basically to bore under Broad Creek. We finally secured all the necessary easements for that. And so we are now in the process of moving forward. We've met with Spring and Associates. They were the low bidder at $6,083,810, and we are anticipating that work to begin probably in October. They have to go through a public hearing process to notify the public for the going underneath the creek. So that'll be happening. And then the Phase 1C, this is going to be the extension of the sewer coming out of St. Michael's to the Mount Pleasant before we go under Broad Creek. And again, Spring and Associates was the low bidder on this at $1,640,750. And right at this point in time, we've been, working very diligently with citizens of Nevitt. We typically have met with them on a monthly basis since the design was started. I think they're very excited that we're moving forward with this project. And one of the things, just kind of highlight, Resolution 250 is looking at extending sewer to 610 equivalent dwelling units or houses. And this is pretty much the largest sewer extension that we've ever embarked on. And at this point in time, I think we're looking at roughly just the Phase 1 infrastructure, which is coming from St. Michael's, putting valves at the property lines. It's about a $9 million project. Once that's been completed, we'll do the Phase 2. And the Phase 2 will actually be the installation of step units that will go into those houses and then pump the wastewater from the house to that valve, and then ultimately to the St. Michael's wastewater treatment plant, where we'll be treating it at ENR quality. So that kind of gives you an update on the project. We're probably going to be able to finish up phases 1B and C probably by February. But because of the amount of piping this is going to be associated with going from Scotts Lane down to Bosman and Nevitt, that'll probably put us into the next year before we can wrap that up. So.
Okay, all right, good job. Any discussion? Nope. It's a good job. I know it's been a long time coming.
Thank you for the thorough report.
Yep.
Thanks, Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and what this, the potential that this has to positively impact water quality for, I guess, both Harris Creek and Broad Creek, because it impacts both sides of this peninsula, is tremendous, and in a very environmentally sensitive area of our county.
And to add to that, I would agree with that 1,000%. It upbrings a whole community.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. That's for sure. So I'm really happy for that community.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Well,
right,
thank
Ray.
you.
Yep.
Thanks, Ray.
Yep. Okay. Are we moving to public comment now, council?
Yeah.
Okay. If
Nobody signed up to speak this evening.
okay, you ladies want to come on up?
Good evening. I have a little bit of voice.
That's okay. It's all right.
My name is Angela Bordley. I am board member and treasurer for the Foundation of Hope Incorporated. Regina Limberry is also on the board. And we are here to discuss funding for our Foundation of Hope program. Excuse me. Foundation of Hope is a mission to help young girls lead productive lives in their community. We provide culture, social, and education development. We cover financial literacy, entrepreneurship, self-esteem, how to complete a resume, perform at job performances. Our organization started in 2013. We launched our economic development and empowerment program in 2017. They currently meet after school at Easton Middle. Excuse me. We've been operating for 7 years. We just had our second cohort of girls graduate this past school year from Easton High School. The girls are attending various colleges, Chesapeake College, Johns Hopkins University, and some have entered into the workforce. Our goal is we have purchased property at 52 South Washington Street. To date, we have raised over $1.3 million. We are going to be hopefully, prayerfully breaking ground in October of this year for our 5,400 square foot Hope Center. That way, it will be available to the girls all the time instead of just when school's open. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, it's a pleasure to work with Councilwoman Keisha Hayes in being a part of this program. I am part of the board, and also I work with the girls. And to see those girls come in with low self-esteem, don't feel comfortable standing in front, giving a 5-year plan and where they see themselves 5 years from being in that program, it is truly exciting to see them to stand up at the end of the program and be able to present a vision board to their parents and the one that is supporting this program. So thank you very much for the donation that you've given us.
Okay, we appreciate it. Any discussion, council?
You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very worthy
Honored to be able
Thanks
to
a
do
lot.
it.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, anybody else out there? There's Connor right there. He's looking. Yep. Anybody else want to come up for
Thank you,
public comment? Good?
Thank you,
Okay.
Martha.
Okay. All right. Council comment, Mr. Stan.
Mr. Stan?
Yeah, well, that's him.
He can comment too.
It was Yes. Gosh, you did. That's fine. I'm sorry.
I do have three notes here. I'll keep everything just some celebration here. We have lots to celebrate here in Talbot County. So number one, I just want to one more time just congratulate Major Scott Bergenthaler. It was great to be to his retirement ceremony last week. 50 years of service in law enforcement between Maryland State Police, Howard County, and Talbot County. So
Right,
it's great to join several other council members here at that. Number two, it's great to have another successful Talbot County Fair. It's great to be out there for a good amount of time last weekend. And third, I just wanted to take a moment to congratulate our Talbot Softball Little League Junior League team,
Right.
who went to Connecticut for the, let me make sure I get this right, Junior League East Regional Tournament in Connecticut. So in only the 5th season now, for a team to make it to a regional tournament is absolutely phenomenal. Great things came out of a meeting that we had many years ago to join up forces between Easton Little League and Home Run Baker Little League, the softball program, and here we are sending a team to the East Regional. So very, very cool. Congratulations to those young ladies and the coaches.
It's great. But have they started playing yet?
They did.
They did?
They did.
They did?
Yeah.
How did they make it out?
They made it to the tournament.
They made it to the tournament.
They made it to the
That's
tournament.
all that matters.
That's
all that matters.
It's a wonderful accomplishment in its own.
That's
Great.
good. That's good.
I had the opportunity last Wednesday to join Councilmember Keisha Hayes over at the St. Vincent de Paul, whose mission, this is one of our 7 food banks, among other missions that they do in the county, and provide food needs to an enormous number of families in our community. They're embarking on a major expansion. They were one of the entities funded with our ARPA grants tonight, and just want to thank the Governor Moore, who himself highlighted the work of this, was present there to highlight the work of this important organization in our community, and to thank the volunteers who contribute so much to the community.
That's good. Thank you.
I just wanted to commemorate the 20th anniversary of plein air. They had a challenging weather for their week, but a great turnout and a great success, and Keep going another
Mhm.
20 years.
Yep.
Thanks for
That's
all
good.
you do.
That's good.
Staff and volunteers.
Yep, yep.
So I am glad to be back at this council
Mhm.
meeting. I want to thank council and I want to thank staff for all of your prayers and concerns during my surgery recovery. My husband had his last prostate cancer treatment today, so I'm so excited about that because we've had a bumpy road this month.
Yeah.
And then I just want to congratulate all of the ARPA recipients, all of those nonprofits that work so hard in our community. Just glad to see the hard work that the committee did, Vice President Lesher. You know, I know it was a hard decision, you know, to make, and the requests probably came in, or we know they came in higher, but they do such great work in our community, so I'm glad that we were able to disperse those funds. And certainly St. Vincent de Paul does great work, as Councilman Lesher had stated. That was a great event last week, and I was glad to be able to attend.
Okay, that's great. And just to recap everything tonight, I mean, we're buying ambulances and building, and we got sewer going to Nevitt. So we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot. And it's because of this council and staff that are doing this. And Martha, you're doing a great job out there. I know you weren't. I know you weren't. But you keep us under wrap and let us know when we can and can't spend money, and I really appreciate that. That's for sure. So we're doing really good stuff, and I'm glad you are back and feeling better. That's for sure, because we missed you. That's for sure. So other than that, Mr. Lesser, you want to go ahead and
The County Council's next meeting will be held on Tuesday, August 13th, beginning at 5:00 p.m. The council will be convening an open session and then adjourning into closed session as listed on the statement for closing that meeting. Therefore, is there a motion to adjourn this meeting and reconvene as noted?
So moved.
And a second. Okay, we got a motion second to adjourn. Madam Secretary, could you call the vote?
Mr. Callahan?
Aye.
Mr. Stepp?
Aye.
Mr. Lesher?
Aye.
Ms. Milky?
Aye.
Ms. Hayes?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.